in the background just to make sure everything's going well. I ain't been going off for ages. I thought I'd go live. Now you watch. That's all we'll hear. The whole live will just be fireworks. That's all we're gonna get. Right, let me just quickly do my little check. Right, there I am. Now, here we go. I'm gonna, boom. Sound's working, that's the main thing, because anybody watching this later on, watch my previous one, screwed up on the sound. Now that is part of my pre-check, but I can't do it until I go live. So that's the that was the check for that, just to make sure the sound is working, that we're live, that we're actually audible, rather than remember to God that yep, that's fine. I wanna, you know what? I'm gonna just have a little bit of, whoa, what did that do? I don't know that. Retouch, what's that one do? 49-second short was uploaded to your channel as unlisted. Oh, okay, so we cannot grab shorts. That's cool. What's that do? No, it turns me camera off, and I don't want the camera off. What's that do? Green screen. Oh, okay, that's cool. What have we got? Got any good images? Oh, green screen. No, we don't currently. We could put a thumbnail there, but turn the green screen off. Okay, that's a good thing to know. I didn't realise that. Let's just have a little play with this whilst we're lighting. Oh, okay, so it fixes up lighting. That's a bit better. Guess we put lighting on. Yeah. This is the chat options, community moderation. What the fudge, does that one do then? So live chat is on, participation mode, anyone, messages none, blocked words, no we don't have blocked words in this. Perfect, right, we'll jump straight into the live. It's probably going to be a loud one because I've decided to do this on bonfire night at the time where pretty much everyone's going to be setting off fireworks, but it's okay, we'll power through, we'll be absolutely fine. So without me rambling on too much, I wanted to focus today's live on what the main reason that, or the main problem that a lot of people have, and especially a lot of businesses, is sort of like posting blindly without focusing on the profitability side, without focusing on actually what they're posting for, just getting the content out there. Now, I've said this multiple times, I'm a big advocate for volume. I'm a big advocate for, if you've not been posting in a while, if you've not been on social media, getting the volume out there is going to be absolutely massive, because it just allows you to get data. It allows you to get the results in to see what works with the type of audience that you're going for. If you're going for, a much wider audience, you might have a wide range of content and a range of different content pillars that you're targeting. If you have a smaller and more niche audience, there might be a set topic or a set area of your content that you can focus on. I knew this was going to happen, because as I say, about 10 minutes before this, no one was setting fireworks off, and as soon as I clicked the lower button, it was just boom, 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 boom. But we'll deal with it. Happy bonfire nights to anybody that's watching, anybody that's tuning in. I don't know if there's fireworks going off around you. Hola, meow, LXD. How you doing, my friend? Real good. Hola is Spanish, because I'm a genius like that. I know it's Spanish. That was the full extent of my Spanish language right there. So just touching on the performance driven of your sort of social strategy. So as I mentioned, mi Castilla. Yo, we got a lot of Spanish going on in here. I don't speak Spanish. I was limited at hola. Hola, mi amo Callum. That's it. That's me done. I can probably count to 3. Don't beat me up, please, box builder. No, not at all, bro. Appreciate you dropping in the chat. Appreciate you jumping on live. Don't beat anyone up. I'm a businessman. I don't do violence around here. That's silly. Meow, meow. Everyone speaking Spanish just got me thinking that I've jumped into some Spanish algorithm with YouTube. Maybe I've been auto transcribing my videos into Spanish, and now I've got a Spanish audience, which is not good, because Brummy accent and Spanish people, we ain't gonna get on. If you can't understand English, you ain't gonna understand my English. I can tell you that for free. Absolutely. 1, 2 seconds, got that flagging up as well. Well, and then 4 minutes in, we'll just, as I say, we'll dive into it. Yeah, so your performance-driven social strategy. So as I was mentioning before, is like so many people sort of come in, start posting without knowing what the actual goal is, and what I want to be able to do. Sister wasn't able to come to school today because she was sick and she went to the doctor's office. So I hope. Sorry to hear that, Brady. VR, I hope sister's alright, and I hope you're alright as well. Hope you're both feeling okay and she gets well soon, it's nothing serious. So what a lot of people do, and what a lot of businesses will do, is they'll just start posting online, just randomly, just load different posts. And as I say, I don't necessarily think in the beginning that's a bad thing to be doing, as long as you're checking the data, as long as you're running reviews on your content. So I personally, with my content, with my clients' content, I go for 7 days. So, we start the first couple of days off, and you'll be seeing a series coming out on this soon of a case study that I'm running with a local business based here in Birmingham. And what we're doing is sort of like the first 7 days, pure organic, and we're just focusing on the posting side of things, mixing up the content, trying to get, load of different times, because I haven't posted in so long, so there's no data. It's not like there's a little bit of data to go off because they've been posting like once or twice a week. They've literally like not been posting at all. So for us right now, it makes complete sense to just get the posting out there, mix up the content, mix up the styles, mix up the timing, mix up the engagement, everything, so we can see what resonated the best. The good thing is they have a lot of trial reels on the likes of Instagram, so we can test a lot more styles of content to see what resonates more. But the ultimate goal is to get more walk-ins, to get more bookings, to get more link clicks, profile views, etc., etc. Obviously, build up the following and build up the views. But the long-term goal is to get sort of email sign-ups, link clicks, bookings, etc., etc. So that's our goal. Like, that's our whole goal. Now, right now, the method to get to that goal is volume. So we have to post a lot. We have to post a lot to find out what works. But after that, we start honing in on the strategy. And this is where I think a lot of people miss the boat, or they miss the trick. Is like they'll post and post and post and post without looking at what the actual goal is, without looking at what is it that they're targeting. Are they trying to target getting more people to their website? Are they targeting trying to get more emails? Are they targeting trying to get more walk-ins? And so the posting continues, they don't see an increase in what their target is, even though they've not set their strategy for that target. They don't get the results that they want. They might get an increase in views, but they're not getting an increase in bookings. They're not getting an increase in revenue or profit or money. They're not monetizing off of that attention that they're pushing out there, and then they stop it. And this is the biggest thing that I see with a lot of businesses that I speak to, is it's like, oh, well, we weren't getting any traction, so we like pulled out of social media. And so, well, that's the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is just set yourself up to, at least on social media daily, keep yourself like in the heads and minds of your target audience, with geotagging, that sort of thing, especially like say local businesses. But once you start to collect that data, once you start to collect, facts, you can start looking at analytics, seeing what sort of people are finding you on social media and how you can use that to your advantage, either for your business promotions, either if it's, generating more sort of email sign up, so then you can actually send your offers directly to the people that are going to be interested. Cheers, mate. Cheers. This is just brummies, mate. I just speak like mad, but I appreciate that. Snake Khan. I'll take a breather. How's everyone doing? All good? Sweet. So, it's focusing on the ROI. It's looking at those ROI reviews. This is something massive that I learned. Like, I've only been posting content of myself as something like the past 12 months. And even then, the biggest learning curve for me was, one, looking at the reviews side of things. So I was one of those who just post and post and post and post and post without reviewing any of the content. And that's when you can start to drop off. That's when you can start taking it easy. It's because you're like, oh, well, I'm out there every single day. It doesn't matter. But in reality, you might be out there every single day, but what's your intention? And are the goals that you're setting for yourself, are you actually achieving them via your content? If not, do you need to pivot? Do you need to take a little bit more of a harder look at it? Do you need to change up the content that you're posting? I review a lot of profiles on a daily basis, and I see a lot of people like find one style of content that's easy for them to make, and they just think I'll post that all the time. It's like it's not bringing you in any results. Like, it's not getting you any views, it's not getting you engagement, it's definitely not getting you leads. So why would you continue to post it? They say, look, the definition of madness, I think it was almost someone that said the definition of madness is doing the same thing again and again, expecting different results. And whilst I think you need to be turning up, like, you know, when you get to a point where just turning up online, turning up on social media, turning up in your day-to-day activities is just the baseline. But you get to the point where once you're turning up, that's fine. But now this is where the real work starts. Like, everyone's turning up every day. No, don't worry about that, snack guy. You won't worry at all, honestly. And that's where a lot of people start to, like I say, start to drop off because they don't go in deeper, get the reps in, get used to posting the content, and then start looking at an actual strategy. I think me personally, my view is, in the beginning, if you've got a client or if you've got yourself that's never posted content before, a good strategy is volume. Whether people agree or not, a good strategy is volume because you're going to collect data. But after, I'd say, 7 to 14 days, that's where you want to be honing in on what types of content, doubling down a little bit more, maybe even 30 days. Might take you 30 days if you're only posting once a day. Difference is, if I post 3 posts a day for 14 days, I've got 42 pieces of content right there. Whereas if you're posting 1 piece of content for 14 days, look, there's going to be difference in numbers. I always try and say to people, like, hit the 100 mark. No, set your profile up and everything like that. Now, of course, like, do the bog standard, like, checks for yourself, like, see what your profile pics like, your bio, your banner, what, dependent on the platform that you're on, and then hit 100 pieces of content. Like, just hit 100. 100 is just an easy number. Nothing wrong with hundreds. Do you know what I mean? It's a no solid number to aim for. It gives you a target, and that's your goal. It's not about looking at all the analytics at that point. It's just getting the reps in. It's just getting you used to recording. It's getting your business used to recording. It's getting used to, you know, how you're setting up your captions and that sort of stuff. You can trial different things by all means. Again, something I massively recommend is still trialing things, still testing what one caption works like or what one hook works like, and etc. But just get the 100 reps in. So, and then, like say, start deep diving into something. So if you are somebody that's not been posting or hasn't posted content, I'd say start posting every single day, start posting every single day for the next 100 days, get those 100 reps in. If you have been posting and you're not seeing any traction and you'd like to see a couple more results, set yourself a key ROI or set yourself a key thing that you're going to review every single week. So if you want views, go into whatever platform you're on, go and look at the analytics and say, like, okay, well, what's your retention rate? What's your click-through rate? Are people even clicking on the video to view it? If they're clicking on the video, how long are they staying around for? Oh, okay, I need to improve that. How do I improve that? I get better hooks, I need to get better pacing, I need to get quicker editing, that sort of thing. And then you can start testing. But ultimately, the first goal is hit 100. I think 100 is a solid number to go for. Moving on to topic number 2 for this week's sort of social media marketing. I don't think I did the introduction today. I think I just jumped straight into it, but we're gonna test things out. I do truly enjoy just doing these lives and getting to speak live to people, or even if I'm just speaking live to myself. But these are other things that you can test out. It doesn't have to be, not all content is going to be recording yourself, editing the clip, posting the clip. You can do a load of different things. There's loads of different tools that you could do a live with, or you could do a long form edit with, and then go from there. Personally, I'd say if you're starting out on content, or if your business is starting out on content, go for short form because it's just easier. Go for short form and written posts because they're just easy to do. They're easy to do, they get you used to posting content. There's plenty you can test out with that style of content without having to, you know, commit too much time. Long form editing and lives and things like that, especially if you set a time limit for yourself, can be quite daunting. I always just think about getting the reps in. That's what I like. Is I don't necessarily think I'm seeing like massive improvement on my lives because I'm not fully focused on them. As bad as that sounds, I mainly do the live, so I'm getting some sort of live content out, some sort of live content and some sort of long form content out onto YouTube. But it's also good to get into practice your speaking because I know when I very first started creating content, going off on a bit of a tangent here, but anyway, when I very first started creating content, you had that thing in the back of your head of like, oh, I'll edit it later, I'll edit it out later, it's fine, it doesn't matter. So you were prone to mess up because you always knew you could edit it out. Whereas with the lives, with sort of longer form content, even when I was doing a podcast, you still had it in the back of your head, oh, it's fine, I'll edit it out. When you're doing things like this, you've got no chance to edit it out. It's raw, it's authentic, it's there. So if you mess up, you've just got to deal with the mess up, and you'll find out people don't give a shit a lot of the time. This is why I always turn off for kids. This is why, because I am prone to just slipping out a word here and there. Don't do it as much as what I do when the camera's off, believe it or not, but I am prone to letting one slip out. So, 2024 Creator Tool Stack. All this is basically what's the core stack of tools that you are using? Now, I think people again get carried away with this because of lots of AI. They're like, oh, I need this tool, I need this tool, I need all of this. Like, if you're not going to use it, personally, in my opinion, if you're not going to use it at least on like a daily basis, or at bare minimum like a weekly basis. So there's a tool I use to create my thumbnails because I don't want to sit there and create a thumbnail for like 30 to 45 minutes to an hour. I don't want to sit there doing it because YouTube isn't my like core focus right now. I do lives to practice my speaking. They're a bit of a different thing to do, and it's good to sort of reinforce in my head what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, etc, etc. So for the thumbnails, I don't want to spend ages doing it, but I don't want to crap one. So there's a tool I buy. I think it's like 20 quid a month or something like that, which is, it gives me 20 or 50 thumbnails. It's got a picture of my face, and it's literally what I use to generate these ones. I'm fine with that. I use it twice a week, and then I can use it for clients and things like that as well, or I can use it for other bits of content because it's basically just like an AI image generator. It's just a lot more precise and can actually use your likeness rather than you're trying to make it look like yourself and it looks nothing like yourself, because I've had plenty of those tools as well. But that's what your core stack, what do you actually use? Not getting carried away with things that you're just not going to use just because people are hyping it up. It's always good to test, and I will say this is when when I started the business up and I was running things for the business and landing my first clients, I love testing new tools. I still do test a lot of different tools because I just want to find out if it works. I want to find out if it's worth my time, worth my investment. I think anybody who's looking for a single tool to go for, you just need to pick an AI model, like an LLM. So something like a ChatGPT, a Claude, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. I'm a ChatGPT guy, but that's just because it was one of the first ones that come out. I've got really used to it. It's got my projects, got my custom GPTs, etc., etc. If they wipe all of that, I'm going to Google because Google looks crazy at the moment. But I'd say that's the one thing that you need, just because they're so good at clarity. They're so good at giving you clarity from the beginning. If you can't come up with content ideas, ChatGPT will give you. I feel like we should call it chat, but I feel like if I call it chat, it looks like I'm referencing to like chat in YouTube, and that's not what it is. But anyway, I'd say that is the first tool you should get. In my personal opinion, any content creator, any business owner, bring in chat, and you can get the free model as well. Bring in ChatGPT into your system, into your stack is massive because it just helps. It helps you to not overthink, helps to get quick questions, quick, bits of research. If you want to do a bit of like reading and you don't know where to do it from, you can go straight to GPT and just start typing in a couple of things. I want to learn this about this, can you help me? Any problems that you have along the way? Oh, my captions are coming up with this, can you help me with the captions? It's just, that would be my first call. If I was going to say to anybody, get any tool at the beginning, it would be some sort of AI model that you can go back and forth with, because you can run plans by it, you can just speak to it, you can, if you're having a bit of a brain fog moment, I've done it multiple times where I've got the plus version of ChatGPT, again, it's like 20 quid a month, and I'll just have a conversation with it, and I'll just say, this is what I'm thinking, these are the problems I'm running into, can we have a back and forth and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you build up a prompt list as well, prompt library. I've spoken on this a couple of times, but I definitely think it's worth having. I know there's multiple creators out there, multiple people in the AI space that are like, no, prompt library is bad, just speak. I like them. I think it's a good starting point it's a good base layer to start from. And if you're doing repetitive tasks, you want to have a library. Again, in my opinion, just 100% you want to have a library. That'd be at the core. Then, like I say, again, it's going to depend on the content that you're typing. You want some sort of editor. So me and myself, I use CapCut because I can do it on the phone. It's quick, it's easy. Again, I've got the pro version, which is like 80 quid a year. Again, though, when you look at it on a hindsight, something that you're going to pretty much use every single day, 20 quid's nothing. Like, people spend that like on Netflix and that sort of thing. 80 quid's nothing. Again, people spend that on a meal or a couple of meals or whatever it is. So looking at it in hindsight and thinking, if I'm going to be using it every single day, is it going to be worth it? The worst one I bought, believe it or not, was Submagic, because I bought the yearly subscription by accident and I don't use it every single day. I barely use it because I forget to upload these into it, because I record shorts all the time and I make shorts. I forget to cut my YouTube channel shorts or my YouTube live shorts into shorts, as daft as that sounds. And the edit is like terrible, so it's not something I'd get again. But the whole focus of this is when it comes to a tool stack is not just jumping on hypes. It's actually jumping on something that's practical, that's usable, that's going to help you with your time. Like I mentioned, I had CapCut 3 and I used it every day. It made sense to go for CapCut Pro because there was features that I needed. It was going to make things better. That's my video editing pretty much done. There's one other video editor that I use just because it gives me the transcript, and CapCut doesn't do that. But there's one other video editing tool that I use. Other than that, it's all set in motion. It's all exactly what I need. So don't feel like you've got to do everything that everybody's done. Again, test loads of different models out by all means. But if you find something that works for you and works for your workflow, stick with it. Don't feel pressured into. So that'd be my tip on tool stacking. I think again, this is something that gets a lot overhyped. Oh no, you've got to have Zapier and you've got to have Buffer and you haven't got to have anything. You've got to have what suits you. Try different things, test them out. Get over the learning curve, because I know, again, some models and some tools that you use can have a bit of a steeper learning curve than others. But if it works for you, it works for you. Like, just maximise it for your flow. As I say, CapCut works for me because I can do it on my laptop and I can do it on my phone. And it has everything that I need it to do. I'm not doing some mad, crazy edits. And I've done a couple of mad, crazy edits on there, believe it or not, and they still work all right. Is it as good in terms of, like, the model of, like, DaVinci Resolve or something like that? No. But it does what I need it to do. So don't fall for that. You must have this, you must have that. You have what works best for you. That's the best thing I can say. And then the final sort of main talking point we'll touch on today is the holiday/seasonal social media marketing. So of course, like the supermarkets, it's, as soon as the week of Halloween comes, it's Christmas. That's all it is now. We might get a little bit of glimpses on Black Friday. Obviously, as I mentioned, it's bonfire night tonight. So there's so many bangs going on in the background. But we're in the holiday mode, we're in the holiday season, which means this is your time, because people have already started holiday purchasing, or, Christmas purchasing. It's Christmas to me. So people have already started doing it. Supermarkets have already started advertising. There's no reason why you can't do the same. There's no reason why you can't flip your offer. And this is a trick that not many people use. It's like, you can just have the same offer that you've been using all year round, but just add a holiday spin to it. Like, just add some sort of seasonal thing to it. If you're selling, I don't know, milkshakes or something like that, if you're a milkshake dessert place, or an online milkshake like vendor, and you've been selling milkshakes all year round, comes to Christmas and you just turn it into something seasonal. You don't even necessarily have to have a seasonal flavour. You just flip it and just be like, the snowman shakes are now 10% off, or just something so it feels fresh, so people feel in the festive mood, because I feel like people are a lot more trigger happy and wanting to buy things when it comes to that Christmas period, because they know they're going to have to anyway. People are going to have to fork out money for things for people. And if you're, if their friends into, I'm sticking with milkshakes now because that's where I started, but their friends into milkshakes, and the whole year around they haven't even had to think about it. It comes to the holiday season, you've got this special offer on your, seasonal shakes that has been posting all this content all year round and had these amazing offers. You're going to be better in your chances. So just making sure, your standard things, making like limited time offers. That's where you bring in the seasonal thing, so it feels fresh, but it also feels limited because it's a seasonal offer. It's not going to be here after Christmas. This offer's not going to be here. I want it now. I need to get it now. Making sure you've got things like countdowns or even early bird, like exclusives as well. So you could have your offers coming up in for December, but you could be saying to people, if you purchase in November, you get the early bird special, you get this, you get this, you get this, and just stacking it from there. I get a courier just before I did this live, and I'm paying for it now. So that's my making me want to go to sleep. That's my take on it. Of course, a couple of other tricks you can use is things like nostalgia, storytelling. The big brands do this wicked when it comes to Christmas. There was an advert I looked at the other day. I'm gonna try and remember it now for the life of me, and they just played the holiday season so well. It was all about a kid. It was a Pandora, funnily enough. So I think the kid goes to, his mum says something to him, and you see the kid look, and he goes into a jewellery store and gets a note. It was really cool, but you can just tell, it hits the heart. And I'm not saying that a kid's going to go and buy £40 to £80 charm bracelet or whatever it is. But it was that nostalgia, it was that feeling, it was that, look, if a kid sees that and sees, like, the mum smiling, there's nothing stopping the kid going up to the dad, saying to the dad, this is what we need to, getting into the hearts and minds of their target audience in any way that they need to. And like I said, especially something like that, if a kid gets in his idea that his mum's going to smile because she gets a Pandora charm, like, he's going to find a way to get it out of the dad, or even out of the grandparents or anything like that. So just playing on those little sort of feelings, that's just what the holidays are, seasonal holidays, Christmas, whatever you want to call it. It's an emotional time for a lot of people. There's, especially as you get older, there's more nostalgia related to it. You remember what it was like when you were a kid, you remember what it's like now. Using that sort of to your advantage and telling a story about your brand, telling ways that you've helped your customers and how you can relate it back to Christmas. It's just, it's a way to hit on the emotions. Of course, you can use that in your reels, short stories, written stories and things like that. Whether you decorate, whether you want to design it in a Christmas themed way, and again, it's not got to be over the top. It's not got to be all like ribbons and glitter and all that sort of stuff. Just a couple of colour changes, just so the message you've been repeating all year feels fresh and it feels seasonal, because there's a seasonal spin to it. That's, it's not gonna be too much. So yeah, and of course you can create like things like holiday series. So you could do like, a bunch of posts in a row that relate to the holidays, show what the holidays are, how your business is perfect gift for XYZ, or again, just playing on the fact that it's Christmas. People have got to buy things. People are going to be buying things like this year around that might not have bought anything for the entire year. And if you're hitting those target markets and you're hitting the niche of what their loved ones are into, and you're showing why their loved ones will be into it, and you're showing why it's going to be the perfect gift for them because they mean everything to them, it's gonna it's gonna just boost your chances of getting in front of people. So they're the main things for this week. So as I mentioned on the previous live, I keep going to call it episode, like it's a podcast. I guess it is like a podcast, but there'll be 2 of these each week. This one is going to be sort of like the trends that are going on within the market world at the moment. Just a couple of things that I've noticed, a couple of tips and practical, couple of tips and practical things that you can use when it comes to your content creation, when it comes to your marketing, so as well as usually a bit like a Q&A or something like that. But it's this live's not been very sort of active in the chats, to be honest. To be honest, so I wouldn't see a point in doing a Q&A. But if that's something that ever comes up. And then there'll be a second one later on this week. We're on Wednesday, probably around the weekend time, just around the case study that I'm currently doing. So there's going to be multiple bits of content that are coming out around that. Obviously, again, maximising it, so your short stories, your written posts, swap posts, etc. There'll be a long form video series coming out about it, of like the pre-setup, the week of organic, the second week of organic, how we're engaging, how we're reaching out to people, how we're then going and using that into paid promotions, growing the business, bringing in more walk-ins, etc, etc. So there'll be a live related to that, just more of a journal and a reference point for myself. I'll be going through the main checklist I've been making. I've got like a notebook over there where I've just been noting down things that I can mention in the live, things that I need to record, screenshots that I need to get, and everything like that. So that'll be around the weekend time, like I say, Friday or Saturday. And these are just the main trend talking points. So if there are any topics, if there are any questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments. I'm always keeping an eye on them to see if there's any other things that I can make content around. I appreciate anybody that dropped in, dropped a like, said something in the chat. I do really appreciate your time, because I know there's 1,000,001 things you could be doing, and there's over 20 million pieces of content being posted on this platform alone each day. So if you took 5 seconds to come and tune into mine, I really do appreciate it. Other than that, I will see all of you winners